Night Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Kim beat me to it. And I just made a video ranting about her ass. But on this, I have to agree with her. And she literally took the words right out of my mouth. And I'm talking about for Harriet. Because when I heard Fresh and Fit's clip, and what was that, like a week ago? It was on the Shade Room, maybe less than that, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago or something like that. I saw the clip, and I was like, when was this? And I'm like, if this clip has been out, I don't know if it was recently posted or something. I'm like, why wasn't this spoken about before? Because, like, if it's been out. But anyway, people just pick and choose times in order to be triggered. But the first thing that popped into my mind, I was like, that's white boy shit. Yeah, I'm not a night rider. I was like, first off, that's corny as fuck. But second off, that's some white boy shit. You know, as somebody who went to a predominantly white high school and had to, deal with, white boys and their corny ass jokes, dumb shit. I bet that when so and so walks in the room, in a dark room, all you can see is their smile. Ha ha ha. Motherfucker that they talking about is not even that dark. You know what I mean? Like trying to apply black jokes against black people when the shit doesn't even apply, right? Stupid shit. But that shit is corny. The other thing, and she's talking about deplatforming Fresh and Fit and all this other stuff. And first off, that's not gonna work. Not gonna work. Stop it. And it's not gonna work because if that's done, all that's gonna do is make them stronger. We've been attacked. We're being silenced for our preferences. And that I can't stand that whole preference conversation, because we had that's like 2009, 2010 to probably about 2012 conversations about the whole, preferences. And I don't even like brothers even using that terminology anymore. You know what I mean? And if you like something else, you like something else, whatever the hell it is. But all that Knight Rider talk, I'm like, that's white boy shit. What's the other thing about this whole situation? The other thing is like, it's like I'm gonna need for Harriet to keep the same energy, because you got, and again, I don't care for what Fresh and Fit said, but you got, what is it, divestment zealot or divester zealot, divest zealot. I don't know I forget exactly how she calls herself, but anything. But I'm like, she's up there calling black men apes and monkeys. Is that not equally as white supremacist? I believe it is. And I could split hairs on what's worse. I don't fuck with I'm not a night rider, or black men are apes and monkeys. I could split hairs on what is worse. But I'm just saying, I'm like, keep the same energy. But again, there's no consistency. A lot of black women are not going to keep the same energy. I'm not subscribed to Fresh and Fit. I don't listen to Fresh and Fit. I personally think they're corny, and I'm saying that as a self-proclaimed lame. I think they're corny. I mean, there's already been a couple of things, because everybody, when everybody was like, oh, Fresh and Fit, oh, first off, to me, as somebody who's been on in this whole black male manosphere conversation, to me, these guys are rehashing like old shit that has already been covered. So that doesn't excite me. It bores me. Kevin Samuels is really the only person that actually like went in depth and dove deeper and yeah, he took points from the manosphere that that came before him, but he expounded upon it. He drew things out of the women that he was having conversations with. He was taking shit where it needed to go. That was the main difference between, let's say, Kevin Samuels. I mean, aside from the way he set up his whole platform, but I'm saying like Kevin Samuels and myself and Captain Solo. We would go on to black women shows where we would have to behave, so to speak. Kevin Samuels, the women were calling him. So they were coming into the lion's den. So he could say whatever he wants, mute, block, give him the 21 gun salute. Kevin had full control. It's like, hey, you called me. So and he could ask whatever questions he wanted. They couldn't dodge it. His platform. So, I'm just saying that was the difference between, the approaches and whatnot. Aside from the fact that Kevin, had a way bigger platform. It's funny because I still remember when he had like 11,000 subscribers. But what was I going to say? Where am I going with this? Oh, I remember. Yeah, some of the things Fresh and Fit have done. First off, Fresh and Fit, they're already like excommunicado when it comes to the manosphere. I've already said that there is an issue with these so-called gurus who only came into money with the YouTube channel. As I stated before, Lead Attorney and Dennis Sperling are pretty much the only ones that I would consider high value men before coming online and making money off of YouTube. And then when it comes to Fresh and Fit, first off, Fresh and Fit. Like, where is the fit in Fresh and Fit? Like, where is it? Neither one of them look like they work out. You got the light skinned dude. He all skinny. I don't even know their names. Don't care. Okay, light skinned dude, all skinny ass arms. I'm like, man, you won't put no bitches. Then you got the other dude. What is he? African, Caribbean? He can't enunciate his words. I shouldn't criticize him just because he has an accent, but like, these African Caribbean folks, sometimes when they talk, they sound dumb, and he just kind of gets on my nerves when he like tries to add his 2 cents. And the corniness stands out, and a couple of other people have seen it. Like that clip that he did when he went to go buy the Lamborghini, and then tried to act like he was telling the Latina that he brought with him. He was like, "We're going to shop for exotic cars with this spicy Latina." Reminds me of what's that guy's name? Ass Nathan or something like that. Another cornball. I'm out here with these Dominicans. Oh, just corny shit. Just thirsty, corny. I didn't get any bitches. Like, dudes that get bitches don't act like that. And I'm saying that as a lame who got bitches, early on in life, based off of height and based off of the fact that I started working out at 16. Okay? So, these guys, like, it's like now they come into money. Now they come on YouTube. And now it's like, I can get what the bitches I want, right? Because that's how women are, when it comes to money, right? But even I have to agree at this point. A lame with money is still a lame. When it comes to this, like, I have to agree with that statement. As much as I hate that statement, I have to agree with that statement. But he had the Hispanic chick there buying the lamb, trying to buy. I don't even think he bought anything. But he got the car companies mixed up. Ferrari is the one that's exclusive. Ferrari is the one that literally makes you buy a used Ferrari before you can get into higher end Ferraris. Okay, and they do an extensive background of, how much money you have and everything, and your profile and who you are. You can't just get into a Ferrari. That's why you don't see any of these young rappers in Ferrari. That's why they got to go and get either a Lambo or they got to go and get a McLaren. They can't get into a Ferrari because Ferrari will simply say no because they're trying to protect the brand. Can't just get in a Ferrari like that. But anyway, he got it mixed up, said it was Lambo that did that. She corrected him. It's like, dude, you don't even know what you're talking about. Then you got the skinny, lighter skinned dude, he's up there, and then the girl put him on blast with the tweets, with his, if you want to come on my show, you got to give me some punani, you got to give me some poom poom. I'm like, corny. That's beyond a lame move. Like that screams I wasn't getting bitches before because I don't even know how to. I don't have no game. I don't know how to finesse a chick. I don't know how to tell her what she wants to hear. Like even on a basic level. You know what I'm saying? You gotta muscle a chick into some damn pussy. I'm like, if you got it like that, all you gotta do is bring her over, let her chill there for a little bit, wine, whatever, pop some bottles, chill out, and then something could happen. I mean, make it so she don't want to go home because your place is so laid out and all that other shit. It's not that difficult when you got resources. But the fact that that he's got resources and he's gotta, if you want to come on my show, you gotta give me some pussy. Again, that's the telltale sign of absolutely no damn game. It's just cockiness and arrogance. So to me, like I've never been able to look at them in any way where I would go to them for advice. Okay. Then you have the whole manosphere thing with the whole copyright thing, the unsaid rule. First off, YouTube has its rules, and then the manosphere has its rules. And in the manosphere, that whole copyright fair use thing, pretty much most people are pretty liberal with that. Fresh and Fit went on some campaign. They started flagging people all over the place, abusing the flag system, got in trouble with YouTube, and, to them, they're looking at it like, bad publicity is good publicity. Again, it's turning people off. The only people that, in my opinion, are their greatest audience are some of the really, really young guys that don't know any better, that are also basically just as corny as they are. These guys give them hope. Okay, but to me, they're corny. They're the wrong people to listen to. But the other thing, getting back to, for Harriet's point, the other thing that freaking just, like, what I don't understand is, right, so these guys said that Knight Rider bullshit and all that other crap. The Bon Quisha, La Quiqua, whatever. That Martin Lawrence Shanae bullshit, okay? That should have died in the 90s. But I'm saying every time I get, like, people I'm not even subscribed to, even for Harriet pops up in my recommended. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not subscribed to her. She pops up in my recommendeds. It's like the YouTube's like, oh, the black side of YouTube, and they like create this space on the black. I guess you'll like more black videos, right? Regardless of whether I agree or disagree with it. But anyway, I'm saying maybe that's a good thing. So you hear all the other side. But yeah. So every time I get these recommendeds, right, Fresh and Fit will pop up in my recommendeds as well, and it's like, I keep seeing black women in the thumbnail or on the show. No, the best thing that you all can do is ignore them completely. Plain and simple. Y'all made Iggy Azalea disappear. She can't rap anymore. So I'm like, the best thing you can do is ignore them. Don't go on their show. Don't retweet or repost or whatever their shit. You can start with that. Now on the men's side, I can't tell you that all the men are gonna, again, like even followers of mine, I got some straight up cornballs and some extremists that follow me. I can't help that. You know what I mean? YouTube is an open platform. Anybody can listen to anybody. And even like I don't know how many times over the years I've had to continuously check black men. You know what I mean? They want to sit there and they want to hyper focus on, yeah, that's right, black women have bad attitudes and all this other shit. You know what I mean? But then when I start talking about having your shit together, then they get in their feelings. Then they start talking about, well, I could be a high value man because I got the sweet twinkle of Christ in my eye. I'm like, no, you need to have some resources. You need to have some wealth. You need to control something. That still is a priority, motherfucker, regardless of the fact that they're on some bullshit. You see, so, and I've had some women admit that, same thing on their side. They got some women that are just extreme. You know what I mean? They're like, it's like, look, chick, you don't turn, if a dude is a doctor, a black man you come across him and he's a doctor, you don't throw him away because he hasn't won a race war. Like, the fuck out of here. What are you doing? So you got extremes on both sides of just people that just really shouldn't be in the conversation. They make the conversation worse. And, they're what I call low-hanging fruit. They're what each side likes to jump up and point to, you're trying to get to a particular point. Like it's like if we're having the super ultra fit, dark skinned, sexy, beautiful black woman contest, I don't want to hear no motherfucker talk about, man, I'm done. I'm hopping the fence. Why? Because when I came here, on my way here, I crossed a overweight black woman who looked like Gabourey Sidibe, who was walking in the complete opposite direction of this event, and I saw her, and she made me want to throw up, and so I'm done. I'm like, but we're in the ultra sexy fit dark skin bikini contest, motherfucker. Ain't nothing but bad bitches in here. What are you talking about? Really? You gonna bring up the bitch that you who was crossing the fucking street in the opposite direction before you even walked in the building? Nigga, get the fuck out of here. And the same thing with black women. You'll be at the freaking international conglomerate executive black male congressional presidential international business conference, and then there'll be some sister in there talking about niggas in jail. It's like, chick, what does niggas in jail have to do with you being at this event full of nothing but high value men? You know what I mean? So you got to be able to weed out the people that are totally full of shit. You know what I mean? I mean, they're grabbing at anything. You can present the best person from the other side and they will still try to find a way to shoot them down. You got to be able to recognize that, because they're just whatever. They're so anti the other side that they can't see, and they shouldn't be in the conversation. And usually people that are that toxic really are so toxic that they'll never be successful on the other side of the fence, despite the fact that they claim that that's where they want to go. So, when it comes to, fresh and fit and that shit, I just ignore it. I mean, just plain and simple. I don't watch their shit. I don't click on their shit. I hate when people send me their shit. There's nothing of any substance there. I don't sit there and go and the few videos I have seen, I don't sit there and listen to their shit and be like, oh man, that was deep. You know what I mean? Especially the dark skinned boy, because he really doesn't have, anything of substance. So, I mean, they're like Ren and Stimpy. You know what I mean? Fresh and fit. Again, where is the fitness? Where is the strong masculine presence? I don't see it. I just see two guys that, again, I have to agree with Kim. First off, I don't say this. It's not that bashing black women is profitable. No, the fucking gender war is profitable. And that's one of the reasons why there's a lot of people that I don't fuck with in this conversation. Because I was trying to figure out what was going on, trying to figure out what a solution, something. But now that you got people that are monetized and they're making a living, off of this, and they're living in luxury condos and apartments, with views overlooking the city, and their whole platform is based off of, being, anti-male or being anti-female or whatever it is. Now that's where they get their bread and butter, there is no let's come together and have some concession. There is none of that. It's just, I got to keep this going because, I can't stay in this, $4,000 a month rent apartment or condo or whatever if I don't keep this shit going. I can't fuck with those people because it's a disingenuous conversation at that point. Okay? I'm not making any money off of this shit. I just speak my mind on it. You got other people that are like, maybe I should put this thumbnail because this thumbnail will get more views. Or, maybe I should put this title, even though the video doesn't have much to do with the title, but I mean, it's the shock value. And, let me put a picture of me up there with a shocked face like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Big-eyed and everything else like that. And, it'll get more views and it'll get more likes and it'll get more sensationalized. And, I'll be able to pay my car note and I'll be able to pay my rent and I'll be able to go get that Birkin bag I wanted. And once you dive in all that, like, you're not having a real conversation. And there's a lot of people trying to fake like they're having real conversations and they're just trying to get the bag. So, I mean, it is what it is, at this point. I knew that when the monetization system came, that it was going to ruin a lot of the genuine conversations that were being had on trying to get to the bottom of shit, when it comes to a lot of these conversations. I think Kevin Samuels has done probably one of the better jobs at blending blending the two, because I mean the women, what can the women accuse him of? They call his show. Y'all want to get mad at Kevin Samuels, he hates black. These women call it his show with their bullshit. Kevin, yes, I'm 37 years old and I got 3 kids and I divorced my husband and I think I can do better, and I'm practicing abstinence because my cookies is worth it. I didn't make that up. Kevin didn't make that up. They calling the show with that bullshit. And that's what it is. It's bullshit. And what, you're mad at Kevin for calling it out? You're mad at Kevin for slapping these women with reality and saying that that's not what men actually want, especially men that have options? You're mad at him for that? Come on now. So I'm just saying, the antics and the bullshit, it kind of comes with the territory of fucking YouTube. Now, my personal feelings on, the Fresh and Fit and the Knight Rider shit, like I said, that's white boy shit. There ain't nothing woke about that. There's nothing B1 about that. You know what I mean? There's just nothing. There's just certain things you don't say. Calling black people monkeys and apes, like divestment, divest. What's the name again? Divest zealot. Yeah, that's just shit that's not said. You could say you got issues with black men without throwing up white supremacist insults like monkeys and apes and shit like that. And the same thing, you could say you're not interested in sisters, because of whatever reason, their attitudes, they're not cooperative and whatnot. But see, once you get into Knight Rider shit and all that other stuff, like now you start getting into where like you start getting into the territory of maybe it's just the fact that you just don't like the way that they look, which isn't something that they can change. Behavior can be changed. Attitude can be changed. Weight can be lost. Unfortunately, kids cannot go back up in the womb. But those 3 things that I just named, they can change. Weight, attitude, what was the other one? What did I say? Weight, attitude, what was it? I gave 3. God damn it. My short-term memory is like shit right now. Anyway, but I'm saying certain things can be changed. Okay, even a chick's, her makeup or something like that. Maybe she doesn't know how to beautify herself. Again, in my personal opinion, y'all can say what you want and think what you want about Karazin. In my opinion, Karazin looked better after 40 than she did before 40. Well, I think that's when she came online. She was probably close to 40 when she came online. But I already know that Brooklyn, basically, influenced her in getting her makeup right when she gets up on the camera. And that's probably the best thing, that happened for her. And what's the other thing? What's the other point that I was going to bring up? Oh, even when it comes to, sin. And this is the part that gets me about some people. Like, in my opinion, I think Sin has a pretty face. Y'all can brag about whether she bald-headed in her hair and all this other stuff, and maybe she got chemical burn, whatever. She ain't got no edges, whatever. I'm just saying, objectively speaking, as much as I hate what Sin says, as much as she's toxic and everything else, I think Sin has an attractive face. Period. Some of y'all get stupid. Y'all get on some, I don't like what they said. They ain't shit. They're ugly. They're ugly on the outside and on the inside. It's like, okay, they might be ugly on the inside, but they ain't ugly on the outside. Like people don't know how to compartmentalize their shit. I'm like, in the face, she's not a bad looking woman. Do I like any of the things that she says? Fuck no. But, in terms of, would I have an issue with the fact that if she don't have no hair? Yeah, most likely, yes. You know what I mean? But in terms of just face beauty, we're separating it out and like, okay, what do you think about her face? I don't think her face is bad looking at all. I think it's rather decent. Okay, moving on. What do you think about what she has to say about black women? Man, fuck that bitch. I think that bitch is out of pocket. Again, totally different scorecard. It's a different scorecard. On her face, I'll give her an 8. on what her beliefs, it was a negative 50, nigga. Like I mean, it's just that simple. But you get people they just refuse to just no. It's like splitting. Like it's like, once they decide they don't like they don't like anything about the person. I'm like, it's called splitting in psychology. The person is either all good or they're all bad. Like, the people can't compartmentalize shit about them. Which ironically is the same thing that white supremacists do when they run around and hurl insults at black people. You get one crime that shows up on the 6 o'clock news, and they're like, oh, I hate niggas, oh, all these niggas, oh, start going crazy. Fucking, that is the sign of somebody with a weak and simple mind, plain and simple. Which unfortunately is the vast majority of people that hop on YouTube. Most people are not that sharp. They're not that bright. And that's something that I personally struggle with when it comes to the world. I'm like, how is it that how can you be this dumb? How do you not process the information correctly? Or even if you're presented with, look, there's times I'm wrong, shit. You know what I mean? But I'm like, you like, well, let me show you why I think that you're incorrect. And I'm like, okay, show me the evidence. Show me what you got. Okay, I'm looking at it. All right, I see where you're coming from. Process it, and then say, okay, I may agree now, or I may disagree, or I may be somewhere in between where I'm like, I do see where this plays a factor or a role or whatever. Right. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't take. There's certain people, which is the vast majority of people on YouTube, but there's just certain people I just don't take seriously. I don't take seriously. I'm like Fresh and Fit. I'm not, these guys were not, running through a bunch of bitches before they came online. They were not. I mean, I could just base it off again. You gotta give me some pussy before you come on the show, and the whole Lamborghini thing and putting Latina this, in the title and all that. Man, if y'all saw that video was so cringe. I mean, it reminded me of that ass Nathan dude. Just corny. I'm here in the Dominican Republic. Hold on, let me grab my mic and shove it in your mouth. Tell me what you love about black men. Tell me what you love about black men. And then they sitting there with a dumb look on their face, thirsty as hell. Tell me what you love about us. I mean, just sound just as bad as the insecure women like Karazin when she went around. Remember when she went around and she was where was she at? What the fuck? I remember when the Lovings group, they kicked her out because they didn't want her there. But I'm saying, she was running. I mean, she went around and was asking, what do you love about black women? Like, that shit is whack. This shit is just whack. And it just, first of all, black people don't even get how much that puts you in a fucked up position to even deal with another race of person. Because now they know that not only do you most likely have an inferiority complex about yourself, hate yourself, whatever, but you can't get along with your own people and you're looking for validation outside. At that point, they have leverage in the whole situation and they can fake it till they make it or whatever, or get whatever it is they want out of you, and then literally just drop you like a bad habit and just shit all over you, shit all over your people. And then you sitting there crying and wailing and all that shit, just like that crap that happened with Karazin and the Veganator. You know what I mean? I'm like, black people, they need to curb that. They need to curb this shit. There's no freaking solidarity in the face of other groups, and black people don't know when to turn it on and turn it off. You know what I'm saying? You see what happens with white folks. White folks, some shit goes down. You know what I mean? All of a sudden they form Voltron real quick. You know what I mean? They form Voltron real quick. You see how quickly they jump behind Kyle Rittenhouse. You know what I mean? You see how quickly they still jumping behind, the freaking McMichaels, with the Ahmaud Arbery, I shouldn't say the Ahmaud Arbery trial because he's not on trial, the McMichaels trial, but everybody, they think of the name Ahmaud Arbery and they make that the case. Because the case was about Ahmaud Arbery, but it was about the McMichaels killing Ahmaud Arbery. That's what the case was about. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, you see how quickly they stay on code. But when it comes to black people, yeah, we got our problems, but we don't stay on code. You know what I mean? White men may have their issues with, white women, and they may say women in general, but they really mean white women. You know what I mean? But when it comes to them, they wouldn't deal with any other woman other than a white woman, real talk. White men are known for the. I mean, yes, I know they fuck with Asian women too, but I'm saying, they are known for, I'm sure, fuck this, I'm going to Kiev, I'm going to Ukraine, get me some bitches. You know what I mean? I'm going to Budapest and get me a wife. Shit, they keeping that shit white, just because they got issues with their women and shit like that. But again, we got some other complex issues going on, in the black community due to, the system of white supremacy and how it has affected us, and the residual, effects of slavery and all that shit, the reverberating effects of all that crap, from the self-hate, inferiority complexes, lack of trust with one another. Oh, it's a shitstorm. It's an absolute shitstorm. But also in reference to the brothers, you want my personal opinion? I don't think brothers should be following or fucking with Fresh and Fit. That's my opinion. They can say and feel however they feel. I don't think that there's anything to be gained. There's too many antics. I used to say that about Kevin. I'm like, stop with the antics. You know what I mean? Like, just stick to the fucking points. You want to be taken seriously, just stick to the points. He's got the platform, he's got the delivery. You know what I mean? All you got to do is extract out, because that's the hardest thing to do with women. Just extract out, what, because they all think that they're smarter than you, or smarter than men, period. I'm like, nah, let them talk. They'll hang themselves. Just let them talk. That's something I had to learn from Captain Solo. I'm like, nah, go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk, girl. Because you about to put your foot in your mouth. I already know it. They can't help it. Because they think that, we're beneath them. But that's a whole nother conversation. But all that antics, the disrespect, the fake alphaness, don't raise your voice on my show. I'm checking you for the world to see. Just demonstrate how alpha I am, because I cut you off on the microphone and said don't overtalk me. Like, no. And it's sad because there's like Kevin does it the best, but I'm saying you get a bunch of people that try to do what Kevin does, and they just don't know how to do it. The don't overtalk me, the get your likes, get these likes up. It's just it's just corny. Like, they're trying to follow the same formula, but they don't have the same delivery. But anyway, I needed to get this off my chest. I'll probably post this before I post the other video. The next video is going to be a rant about some of For Harriet's talking points. And I am going in on the shit, and I am going in on, all the belief system. Okay. So, just be aware of that. Again, I compartmentalize the shit. This is what I'm talking about. This. Fuck all that other shit. We're talking about this. This is the problem. We're focusing on this. Don't be bringing up all outside noise, trying to deflect and detract away from the main talking point. Fuck you. I'm talking about this. You know what I mean? So, like I'm saying, despite the fact that where I disagree with for Harriet, I'm saying, this is not something that brothers want to defend. There's nothing to defend here. Okay? That, Knight Rider, if you don't like divestment zealot running around calling black men apes and monkeys, then you can't co-sign Fresh and Fit talking about, I'm not a Knight Rider. Again, if any of you went to high school with some white boys or went to college with some white, that's how there's their style of talking. That's how they talk. That. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, that's not us. That's not us. You know what I'm saying? So like, and the thing is like, and this is the type of shit where no matter how many valid points we make about a lot of the fucked up shit in black women's behavior and all that shit, you start doing shit like that, You know what I mean? Then it turns into you're dismissed because you have a deep-seated hatred for black women because look at how you said this and your delivery and all this crap. And see, now you done created a whole bunch of static in the room to now your message can't be heard. You know what I'm saying? It's unnecessary bullshit. It's like stay focused. Like, nah, chick, it ain't got nothing. It has nothing to do with your features. It has nothing to do with your hair. It has nothing to do with your weight. It has nothing to do with self-hatred. No, the issue here is you don't want to cooperate. You think I'm supposed to put on the dress and you supposed to put on the pants. That's what the issue is here. You see, but once you start diving into, I'm not a night rider and all that other, you're never going to get there. Because now you can't double disqualify. You see? If you already said, oh, I don't like the way that she looks, then you can't sit there and then, oh, now we're going to talk about your behavior and shit like that. No, you start with the fucking behavior. You know what I mean? You leave all that other shit. Let them speculate, because that's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna make it about something that they could actually change, but don't want to change. They're not gonna make it about that. They're gonna make it about something that they can't change. That way they can be like, ah ha, nigga, ah ha. You see? So y'all need to recognize this shit. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already 35 minutes. So that's my video. SWP out.